Today I am in Manchester and I am very excited, although I don't know why every time I come to the northwest I forget my raincoat. I don't know why. Speaking of my attire, I realise I'm dressed as if I'm an extra in Police Academy. Just noticed that. So yeah, I've arrived in Manchester. I absolutely love Manchester. I went to university here and I haven't been back in so long. I am visiting the Spirit of Manchester Distillery because they are making rum. So we're going to get in and have a little look around. Love being back here. It's really brought a smile to my face. Let's go inside. Right, welcome to the Spirit of Manchester Distillery. So I'm just outside. That's the head distiller behind me there. He just walked me through it all. So I've now got permission to sort of head on in and reiterate what he's just told me, as if I know what I'm talking about. And as we go in here, we've got on the side here, they've just started making their own whiskey, which is super exciting. I mean, literally like we're a couple of days in to them starting to produce their own whiskey. They've been majoring in gin and they've got their botanical rum as well. In here, this is their mash tun. This is about 2,000 litres. They can then put that liquid into 4 different 2,000 litre fermentation tanks here. That then gets pumped over here. I love it. They've got it all hard plumbed in as well. This is the sort of geeky side of me now. We'll come back in here in a second, but in here now, this is their new still. They're working away. I believe the spirit is just about to start coming over, and the smells in this room are funky delicious. We're getting a bit of pear drop and a bit of banana on the nose. This is their gin still behind me. This is 1,000 litres. Look at that beautiful bulbous neck on it there. And then it comes over here. They've experimented with using this basket here with fresh citrus peels. I leave predominantly, it just bypasses that and comes straight over, bypasses the column as well, and then it comes and condenses down in here. This is where they receive their spirit. So all of their gin that you're going to be drinking, in fact, it's coming off right here. Delicious. I love the look of it. I get very romantic looking at things like this. It looks very clean and pure. It's just been explained to me that this tank actually is a closed water system, so they're not wasting water for when they're cooling here. So obviously as you cool your distillate that's coming over, that heats up the water. So rather than chucking that away, they then hold it in this tank so then they can reuse it. So they're not wasting water. So that's a nice little touch they've got here. Then the spirit received in there, and then I guess it will get taken through where they can bottle it. And then round the corner, this is their brand new whiskey still. They basically ripped out all the electrics to make sure that they'd put the safe electrics in themselves, and they also wired in this incredible system, meaning Matt, first thing he does when he wakes up, he puts the kettle on at home, and then he turns this on from his house. This is an oil jacket heating this, so it's run off electrics again. Same on both of these stills. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful touch, because obviously being in a city centre, that makes it quite clean. So he can turn that on with this system from his home. It takes a while for the oil to heat up. Once it's at a nice temperature, it's basically radiating into the liquid in the pot. So you're going to get a nice even heat to it. You're not going to burn or scorch any of your wash that you're putting in there. Oh, we're foaming up in here. Look at this. They fill it. Let's put it that way. This is a 750, but I believe they put in about 1,000 litres. He's just confirmed that, 1,000 litres. Oh, that is so good. This is because of all the starches in it, is it? Or the rich proteins.
There's more sugars on the grain, so there's more proteins and liquids that kind of increase this. So certain malts that we've tried foam more than others. Particularly, we put chocolate malt in one of our recipes, and that really goes.
That's Mathew Duthie, head distiller. So then it comes over here, beautiful copper still. In fact, it's very, very beautiful setup. And the lighting in here underneath these arches is just stunning. The line arm at the top is actually flat, it's horizontal. Often you'll see them either coming down or up. It's to do with character and reflux. There's no right way of doing it, but this is really interesting. It's lying flat. There's some thinking that because it's lying flat, it's gonna have reflux going through it in a nice way. The other thing about reflux with this still is the size of the neck all the way up here compared to the size of the base is really, really tall. So that's their way of encouraging reflux, which is going to generate lovely esters, and it's going to mean that the quality of the spirit that comes over is going to be really, really high. Eventually it then comes on over and is collected over there. Matt is waiting eagerly. Is it coming out? It is. We've got 4 shots. So I should not get in the way too much right now because Matt is doing his thing. This is distilling. This is the art of the distiller. He's testing it as it's coming out. He's keeping his eye on it. He's trying to watch the foam, making sure it's not coming over too much. He's just testing, and the reason he's testing is because he wants to make his first cut. He wants to know when he's going to start collecting his spirit for drinking purposes. As in, you don't ever bottle that first stuff that comes out. He's making his cut, he'll be smelling it, he'll be tasting it. and that's how he'll know when he wants to keep the liquid. Oh wow, it's getting quite low in there. That's his gin bubbling away. I love as well, can you see on the sides here, on this one and on this one as well, these are basically big ginormous robotic arms that go in there with a propeller on to make sure that it's all mixing and turning the liquid inside so that the liquid doesn't burn. So this is where they do their gin school. You learn how to make your own gin, and at the same time you get to actually make it. There's lots of little, what we call alembics. They've got 16 stills in here. It's the same principle. You put your liquid in here, heat it up, cool it down through this little pot here. Out comes your spirit here. And look at all the botanicals as well. I've just spotted these. Look at this. This is the essence of gin. I've always said gin is a balance. From your juniper, you then branch into two directions, I think. You branch into some spice and you branch into some citrus. And then it's up to you about what citrus you want to add, what spice you want to add. So here you've got a whole world to play around with, choosing your own botanicals. We have a dog that's just arrived. I love these images. They just pulled them out for me. The two on the end are from when they first moved into the site. You can see how much work they've had to do to it. It's phenomenal. And I hadn't realised as well, above me is where the chiller is. They've built this little platform where they can put their chiller above it. How cool's that?
That's it. And then high five.
Seb's one of the owners. How gorgeous is this site? I love it. This is their bar. They've had this for a few years now. And then the distillery through there, and then the tasting room through there. So I've just left Spirit of Manchester Distillery, and I just have one major overriding thought that I wanted to say before I hit the road, which is that they are incredible hosts. They are so kind, so lovely. They even gave me a bottle to take away. Wow, so impressive. I really hope I can create a culture within my business like that. Big respect to them. Looking forward to seeing what happens when their new make is aged in casks for 3 years. Looking forward to seeing what it develops into. Watch this space, Spirit of Manchester. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Sorry, Alicia, just cleaning the lens.